They're seeing a lot of value in the flexibility and adaptability inside of their their investments into different types of technologies, if it's content management to commerce. What are some of the key things that you're seeing where Composable is really enhancing those current products or those investments?
A great question. And you know what? I would love to take maybe a step back before I kind of jump into like how composable solutions are going to really drive value for businesses, because I really want to make sure everybody understands what composability truly means, right? Where did it come from, and why are you and I so hyped up about it, right? And so I want to spend like at least a couple of minutes here to talk about how I see the definition of composable solutions, right? Or composable customer experience, or experience composition, application composition. There are all these things that, depending on who you're talking to, composability means something different for them, right?
Very good.
So after having kind of really studied this for a while, this is at least a couple of years when I was still at Altudo, I was actually very engrossed in kind of really understanding, like, why is this emergent, right? Gartner came up with this term. Why is it so relevant? Is it really relevant? We have microservices. We have Mock Alliance. Before Mock, we had Jamstack. And, of course, Netlify founders are the founders of Jamstack, right? And we all understood Mock. And then they started, gaining traction in this new paradigm. And why do we have to rebuild what we already have? And how do I know that I'm achieving composability and I am on the path, or my solution is a composable solution, right? So after talking to like a number of industry stakeholders, talking to Gartner and their analysts, right? I used to spend at least a few hours a week, like for a few months, kind of just talking to Gartner, like, where's this coming from? And here's what my understanding is. You tell me if this is what you intend and this is what you're seeing in the market, right? Especially with the advent of like the whole SaaS explosion in MarTech. I think a big shift happened where you had this ability for like these monoliths that said, you come to us, one vendor, one product, we will build everything for you. And then you just unlock value from what we're building for you. And, you can build the sun and the moon and the stars and all of it with one platform, whether that's a DXP or like an enterprise e-commerce platform that, summarizes that it has all the features of a CMS, a PIM, a DAM, an e-commerce engine. It can do promotions for you. It can do marketing automation for you. But it invariably happens that, your businesses are unable to unlock more than 30% of value from any piece of MarTech, generally speaking. And now they're left with sort of fully invested in a platform that now they're waiting on the roadmap of that vendor to then be able to power their business, because they build their business into the platform, not adjacent to the platform. And that's where I think composability comes in and says, well, to me, how do I help you engineer your business through technology, but adjacent to these platforms, not directly into the platform? Because if it's in the platform, then you need a specialist to run your business. You need that specialized engineer that knows Adobe, that knows Sitecore, that knows Salesforce, and can develop Lightning, that can develop in particular framework like Hydrogen or Shopify, whatever that is, right? And that invariably starts to slow down the business that wants to move at light speed, right? So to me, composability came down to like 4 key pillars. And you do a little bit in all of these 4 pillars, and you may actually do them one after the other. But if you're doing all 4 of them, then you're very much on your path to building composable solutions. But starting across all of this is like the first step to achieving any form of composability is decoupling your customer facing experience from the platform, which is the number one pillar for me, is to go headless, right? Headless and composable are 2 different things. We understand it. But the first pillar to me in that is, unless you have decoupled the customer experience from the backend platforms, you won't be able to achieve all the other parts of the promise of composability and unlocking the value. And as you're decoupling this and you're saying, and going headless, this is also another big thing. And I'm going to take a couple more minutes